Mindfulness, self-improvement. How can I improve on perfection? Hello and welcome to another writerly witterings from me, Michael Jex, the tea drinking author. Today I'm going to be talking yet again about William Hannah notebooks, but there's a reason why. First of all, I've got 3 of them here. This little one is a bit different because it comes with its own particular notebook, and in effect this is a replacement wallet for me, and lovely. These 2 are the 2 main ones. Now, why do I love these notebooks? Well, they're beautifully made. You can get any colour combination of internal and external leather, and they use these clever rings. Why are the rings useful? Why are they good? Well, you have your paper lined, dot grid, whatever it might be, and you can specify what colour you want. So if, for example, you've got, as I have here, a blue interior, I can use blue lined paper or blue dot grid paper, which each of the dots are blue, and it just looks better and it feels nicer on my eyesight. But what I really like is this system of metal rings. It means you can take a sheet of paper out, you can put it back in, or if you take notes while you're out and about and when you get back you want to make use of them, you can just stick them. It's a lot easier if you're doing this at a desk and not in mid-air. But as you see, you can just add the notes that you've had from your meeting or whatever and put them into your larger notebook. It makes life so much, well, it makes things much more efficient. It's really useful. As a system, it's very similar to Atoma, but the difference is Atoma has a similar design of rings and removable paper, but they don't have this one thing, he says, looking at the back of the camera. A metal rod that goes down and holds all of the rings in place so that it doesn't bend and get messy. So what do I want to talk about today? Well, I ordered a little while ago some extra sheets of paper. They are here. And the reason why I ordered them is William Hannah is run by a guy called David Round. He's incredibly helpful and always enthusiastic and willing to give support to his clients. Now, one thing that David's very good at is reading lots of books. One thing he's dreadful at is reading novels. So he hasn't read any of mine, which I find very sad. But he has read lots and lots of books on self-improvement. And so one idea he came up with recently, I've got to just say, you see how nice the packaging is from William Hannah. They actually treat their own products with respect. And that's something I really like, because if you see someone who's a bit slapdash with their own products, it doesn't say a lot for them, does it? So here we have a little self-improvement thing that David has invented, and I love it. What has it got? Well, it has the day of the month at the top here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, etc. You can put the date in. It has 4 boxes, so you can make a mark for wherever you have achieved something. Next to that there's a heart shape, which he intends you to use as a sort of gauge of how happy you're feeling that day, which I think's rather nice actually. It's one of those strange things, but it sort of works just to keep an eye. For a lot of people who want to measure how happy they are, it's just a way of giving yourself something to reflect on. The other things it gives you to reflect on are some little one-liner boxes where you can put down gratitude for something that's happened, new ideas, positive thoughts, things that you've learned, something special about today. And then it's also got 3 main tasks you want to achieve that day, and then other tasks that you want to have. So it's sort of like a to-do list. On the reverse side, it's got this area for notes. Now, this is just, I think, a really interesting idea. And to show how interesting I think it is, I've been using it for a few days. Okay, so what do I think about it? Well, it is a way of being more mindful. I've always been slightly cynical, well, very cynical about such things. I haven't followed a whole bunch of books on self-improvement because I'm pretty happy with the way I am. But this idea of keeping positive thoughts, I think, is a really good one. Having a concept where you reflect on things you should be grateful for, I think that's more and more a really good idea nowadays. Areas where you can just make a note of ideas, areas where positive things that have happened that you can record, it all sort of gels for me. It makes sense. I actually rather like using these as a mini to-do list, but it's a sort of positive, forward-thinking to-do list to make you happier. What's wrong with that? And then having the notes on the back makes it all sort of work efficiently. Will I continue with them for a very long time? I don't know. I've got either 25 or 50 in here. Don't know exactly how many it is, but I'm certainly going to go through this packet and see how it works. And I suspect it may develop into a little bit of a sort of semi-journaling, positive thinking, positive mental attitude, awareness type of game for me. And that can't be bad. But I would suggest, if you've got any interest in this kind of mindfulness and positive mental attitude type of planning, David's got lots more sheets that you can use for either the A4 or the A5 or A6 versions. And he's even got a little mini journaling notebook, which I've got a copy of, which I will be reviewing later. So there's a number of different things that you can be having a look at there. But the main thing really to take away, as far as I'm concerned, is that as well as all these little mini things that you can add in, these notebooks are just incredibly practical and useful. And with 115 GSM paper, they're a joy to write in as well. I use them almost exclusively with my fountain pens. I've got, as you all know, some real gushers like my Viscontis. These things throw down a lot of ink, and this paper handles it beautifully. No feathering, no ghosting, nothing wrong at all. They just work superbly well. And they look good enough to take into any business meeting, which is why I carry this one every time I go to meet a publisher, because it looks good. So, there you go. Now, I hope that was really interesting. I do recommend you go and have a look at William Hanna's site. The link is down the bottom. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, if you haven't done it already, do subscribe, hit the bell button, because then you're warned when a new video's coming out, and like it and tell your friends and share it and all those good old things, because it really makes me happy. And I'm now going to go away and carry on with a video for my Patreon followers, because my patrons are very, very handy at keeping me afloat. So now I'm going to go and get working on the next Patreon video, which is going to be fairly extensive, all about work that's coming up, books I'm writing, books I've got to be editing. There's a lot of them. I've just been doing some calculations. And in the meantime, if you're interested in what I'm getting up to, my Patreon also has a blog every couple of weeks, which is not a very long one. It's 1,000 words or so. But if you're interested in that, then join my Patreon friends, and you too can learn what I'm getting up to every fortnight. And apart from that, I think I'll better go now because I've got a lot of work to do. Thanks very much for watching. Speak to you soon and take care. Cheers.